For most of us, walking into a high-stakes job interview carries the weight of a hostile interrogation. We assume our role is to sit passively, endure a barrage of skeptical questions, and project an image of absolute flawlessness. But a defensive mindset actually strips away your authority. When you attempt to hide every rough edge, you often validate the evaluator's skepticism, prompting them to look closer for the cracks you're trying to hide. Exceptional communicators approach this differently. They engineer an environment where the employer begins to sell the job to the candidate. To reach this dynamic, you have to move past the pursuit of perfection. Instead, you strategically deployed two psychological levers: the pre-commitment hack and the strategic shortcoming. Asserting control requires action in the opening 60 seconds, before the traditional questioning even begins. Instead of waiting for the first question, you politely take the lead. You look at the panel and say, "I want to answer all your questions as fully as possible. But before we start, I'm curious, what was it about my background that attracted you to my candidacy?" This utilizes the consistency principle. When people make an active statement, they encounter an internal drive to keep future actions aligned with that public commitment. Hearing themselves state your value creates psychological pressure to find evidence supporting their initial judgment. You have now positioned them to look for reasons to hire you, rather than reasons to disqualify you. This opening move shifts the evaluator's perspective towards supporting your candidacy before you have even presented your formal case. Once the initial rapport is established, the interview moves into the middle phase, where you must navigate direct questions about your weaknesses. This is where you apply the strategic shortcoming. A communicator can gain a significant amount of perceived trustworthiness by admitting a minor flaw shortly before highlighting a major strength. Take the common scenario where an interviewer asks about a specific software program that you haven't mastered yet. Instead of offering a vague answer, you admit the gap directly and then immediately pivot. You look them in the eye and say, "Although I am not deeply experienced in that specific software yet, my track record shows I am a very fast learner." Because you volunteered the negative information first, the interviewer's reflexive skepticism often subsides. You've shown them that you are not hiding your limitations. By leading with a genuine flaw, you establish a baseline of honesty. This makes your subsequent claim of high competence feel earned and credible. Interview excellence is a strategic exercise in architecting your own narrative. You use the pre-commitment hack to get the panel to voice your strengths, and the strategic shortcoming to demonstrate your honesty. These techniques replace defensive anxiety with a calculated, composed presence. Once you know how to master a high-stakes conversation across a table, the next challenge is scale. How do you take that same magnetic presence and project it to a room of 100 people? In video 28, we will explore public speaking and how to turn a massive presentation into an engaging two-way dialogue. I will see you there.